It Back Nation, what is good? It is your boy DJ Swood, Run It Back Philly. No frauds, no fanboys, no intros. The NBA draft is tomorrow. The rumors are heating up as we get closer. Maybe something happens before the draft, maybe not. We're going to talk about all of the rumors that were popping off this morning and last night today. But first, speaking of frauds, this episode of Run It Back Philly is brought to you by Aura Identity Theft Protection. In 2020, 49 million Americans were victims of identity theft, and it ended up costing them a combined $56 billion. This isn't happening just to people who fall for phishing scams or use bad passwords. 37 billion records got hacked in 2020 alone. That means unless you want to give up the internet, preventing your personal information from leaking could be completely out of your control. That's why I'm partnering with Aura, who is sponsoring this video. Aura's app uses AI and machine learning to protect your identity online. You tell them what to monitor, they get it done. They let you know if something weird's happening with your accounts, with all of your information on the internet. It also comes with a VPN, so you can browse the internet anonymously. Sign up for a 14-day free trial at aura.com/runitback. You do everything on the internet these days. There's no reason for anybody to not have internet identity theft security. Aura.com/runitback. Link is in the description. Sign up for 14-day free trial and try it out. What's going on, guys? What's up? Who's in here? Kane Scott. What's up? Shane Butler. The Process. PS_. Bravo Carlos. Jet Archibald. Shout out to all the supporters of the channel. Andy Walken, most recent member of the channel. Project Crimson, most recent subscriber. Letty with the $10 super chat. Thank you for that. Bravo Carlos with the highest super chat of the month with $20. Thank you for that. Let's get into the business. Oh, yeah. Only 30% of people that watch these streams are subscribed. That is what we call fraudulent behavior. Hit the red subscribe button if you're not subscribed already. Helps me out greatly. And hit the like button on the stream right now. All right, listen. Where are we at here? Let's get before we get into the Philadelphia Rockets, a little tidbit of news here real quick, and it's important because of this, okay? ESPN story on Fanatics owner Michael Rubin. Michael Rubin is selling his 10% ownership stake in the Philadelphia 76ers and the New Jersey Devils, a.k.a. Harris and Blitzer Sports Entertainment, a.k.a. very rich people buying very expensive things to make more money off of the common folk, you and me. But the point here is, after this season, we were saying sell the team kind of as a joke. And then people started selling the team, all right? First of all, last year, Scott O'Neal, bam, I'm out, bro. Sink is shipping. Ship is sinking. I'm out. Give me my money. I'm gone. He leaves. He was rumored to be responsible for the Mikal Bridges trade, by the way, and he bounced, all right? Then the CEO of the marketing department, Chris Heck, what the heck, resigned a couple of weeks ago. Then Josh Harris and Dave Blitzer themselves sell a 5% stake in the team to some other rich people. And now Michael Rubin is saying, I'm out also. He was involved for 11 years. He owns 10% of the company. He gone too. Now, the main reason he left is because he owns the company Fanatics. As most of you probably know, Fanatics, they sell jerseys, t-shirts, hats, and all that stuff on the NBA store. But now it's becoming a gambling company and other things, and he's turning it into a freaking fortune, of course. So he says he wants to focus more on that and not on owning NBA teams. But would you sell something that was making you money? No, you wouldn't. These are businessmen. They're not stupid. He sees this thing either plateauing or potentially going I'll take my money, I'm out. So Michael Rubin leaves. You can do what you want with that story, that information. I just think it's interesting. We were saying sell the team, and guess what? People started selling the damn team. All right, look. PJ Tucker yesterday or the day before reportedly opted out of his player option in Miami and was rumored to be testing the free agent market. Now it comes out today that the Sixers intend to offer P.J. Tucker a 3-year, $30 million contract. Some people said it's $37 million, a little over $30 million. We don't have all of the fine details yet, or maybe they were released while I was setting up this stream. Either way, 3 years, $30 million for P.J. Tucker. The Sixers also have been offering Matisse Thybulle and pick number 23 in a 3-team trade, or it's expected that they're trying to get a 3-team trade deal done with Matisse Thybulle and the number 23 pick in the draft. I know they have to draft a player and then trade that player. It's still trading the pick. Technically it's not, but it's still trading the pick, okay? So they're trying to move Matisse Thybulle to clear cap space to be able to sign P.J. Tucker. And they're going to have to throw in the 23rd pick, and then we'll talk about Matisse Thybulle 23rd pick and what that might be able to get you in return while clearing cap space to be able to sign P.J. Tucker. Also, the Philadelphia 76ers are still trying to trade Tobias Harris, but are having trouble getting teams to take on his contract. What did DJ Eastwood say? For 2 straight seasons, you literally cannot trade Tobias Harris because he's a 17-point-per-game player getting LeBron James money. To put it in perspective, Tobias Harris makes more money than Bradley Beal. Who's paying that for Tobias Harris? We got to be serious with ourselves. So I was thinking they were going to attach a 23rd pick to Tobias Harris just to try to get the contract moved. But at the end of the day, he's not like a detriment to your team like, say, Al Horford was when we were trying to fit him next to Joel Embiid. And that was kind of like, hey, we got to get Al Horford up out of here, right? Not just the contract, but the fact that he didn't fit at all. Tobias Harris has a role. He's massively overpaid, but you're not going to get rid of him and attach a pick just to get rid of him. So we were going back and forth on Monday night, myself and Tom Arnone and Ryan Bordeaux of A2D Radio, and I tend to agree more with Tom here that if the deal is right, you want to move Tobias Harris, but you don't want to move him just to move him because you're moving his contract and you might get expirings in return, and that might clear cap space in the future. That doesn't actually help you right now if you're not getting something in return, and you're not going to get anything in return for Tobias Harris because, like I said, nobody's taking that contract for Tobias Harris. So we might be screwed and stuck with Tobias Harris. And now the fact that the Sixers are trying to move Matisse Thybulle to clear cap space, that says a lot because he's only making $4.6 million, I believe. So we're trying to move players of that caliber, like on the lower end of our roster cap space contract thing to clear cap space. I mean, I don't know, but what I do know is here's my opinion on the PJ Tucker situation. Okay, PJ Tucker's 37, and people have already been replying to the Instagram, replying to Twitter, replying to Will from Text. Thank you for the super chat, my man. Thank you for showing me the Tyrese Maxey gif right there on the screen. PJ Tucker's 37 years old. There's already people popping off, telling me this is bad. He's 37. You know, how could you sign a 37-year-old? How could you give a 37-year-old a 3-year contract? He'll be 40 when the contract is up. On and on and on and all these things. All of these people kind of freaking out on the internet right now. Sixers fans kind of freaking out on the internet right now because P.J. Tucker's 37 years old, because he'll be 40 in the last year of the contract. I have 2 things to say to that. If you think Daryl Morey would not work on writing in a team option in the 3rd year of that contract, you're crazy. Okay? He did the same thing with Danny Green. That's why Danny Green's $10 million right now is not guaranteed. So a player that's 37 years old who played the way that he played last season, which was phenomenal for a 37-year-old in the playoffs, big time, fourth quarter, hustle guy, out-hustled every single person on our team. I'm going to get into what I think about P.J. Tucker at his age, but to sign a 37-year-old player, you still might get 2 really good years out of him, and then maybe he starts to fall off or gets injured or something like that. The last year of the contract is not guaranteed. I would expect that to be in the conversation, right? People that are saying P.J. Tucker is too old, I have a couple things to say. First of all, Joel Embiid named him by name as the type of player we need. So I think I have a tweet of that. Yeah, right here. Daryl Morey heard, shout out to Believe in Sixers on Twitter. Daryl Morey heard Joel Embiid loud and clear. Embiid wants P.J. Tucker. Embiid gets P.J. Tucker. Let's run it back just in case you guys don't remember Joel Embiid calling out P.J. Tucker by name as the type of players we need. I guess there might be an echo if I do it this way. Can you guys hear that? Let me know in the chat if you can hear that. Did you hear Embiid's voice in there? I need to know. I mess with all my audio stuff when I use StreamYard on the collabs, and then I try to go back to OBS, and I don't know. I can't figure it out. Let me know if you can hear that. PJ played most of the games out of any NBA star since playing basketball. I don't know. Will from Texas, I'll read the super chat here. Rockets offered Harden and PJ Tucker and wanted Ben Thybulle, Maxey, and 2 first-round picks. Okay, you guys couldn't hear that. Thanks for the feedback there. So I gotta hit this button right here. All right, cool. We'll be cool on the volume now. Thank you for helping me out there. Will from Texas on the $5 super chat. Rockets offered Harden and P.J. Tucker and wanted Ben Thybulle, Maxey, 2 first-round picks. Now it's Ben Thybulle and 3 first-round picks with Curry and AD instead of Maxey 2 years later. Hold on, man. I don't think I drank enough coffee to be reading stuff like this right now. Let me start this over. Rockets offered Harden and P.J. Tucker and wanted Ben Thybulle, Maxey, and 2 first-round picks. Okay, I remember that. Now it's Ben Thybulle and 3 first-round picks with Curry. Now it's Ben Thybulle and 3 first-round picks with Curry and AD instead of Maxey 2 years later. Yeah, we still have Maxey. Yeah? Well, here's the thing. Thybulle had some value at that point. We thought Thybulle was a guy that you didn't want to trade at that point. Then we watched him in the playoffs again, and he was atrocious. He was completely unplayable. So now you're throwing Thybulle around just because you know the fact that he has trade value, and you know that he kind of doesn't if you really watch him play. But if other teams are going to overvalue him, you have to sell. So, yeah, we would have ended up giving Ben Thybulle 3 firsts, Curry and Andre Drummond for Harden and P.J. Tucker instead of Ben Thybulle, Maxey, and 2 firsts 2 years ago. I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that. If we get to keep Maxey, I'm fine with that. It's not the greatest thing, but, not the greatest thing in the world to be giving up all that for these guys. But at the end of the day, Daryl Morey's going to go all in. You're trying to win with Joel Embiid in his prime right now. It kind of is what it is, man. We gotta just live with it.
Believes that when you have size and toughness, that goes along with
size and toughness. He's talking about you, Tobias Harris. Maybe not.
You look at someone like P.J. Tucker, great player, but it's not about him knocking down shots. It's about what he does, whether it's on the defensive end or, rebounding the ball. You look at, obviously, defensively, plays with so much energy, believes that he can get from point A to point B, and he believes that no one can beat him. And
that's what I love about P.J. Tucker. He believes that no one can beat him. Yeah, he's 37 years old, but guess what? He out-hustled every single player on our team for 6 straight games. I have a stat for you also, because the Sixers have been hindered with rebounding issues this entire last season, probably the season before. We've just had unathletic players on our squad for too long. We haven't had veteran athlete, hardworking dogs like PJ Tucker for way too long. Here's a stat for you. In Game 6, and because if people are going to look at PJ Tucker's stats, that's what they're going to look at. They're going to say, oh, he averaged 5 points a game. We're really giving all this up for. This is where the eye test comes in, not the box score watching. This is where eye test Eastwood will explain to you why you would give up or you would pay this money to PJ Tucker. So here you go. Class is in session with eye test Eastwood, all right? Here's why you would do this. It's not about the regular season. It's not about his stats, his average points per game, none of that. Here's the 2 reasons you would do this. The first reason, Game 6, Sixers, Miami Heat. Offensive rebound leaders. Number 1, Joel Embiid, 4. Number 2, PJ Tucker, 4. The closest player on the Sixers outside of that, Tobias Harris, 1. PJ Tucker had the same amount of offensive rebounds in Game 6 in the Sixers-Miami Heat playoff series as Joel Embiid. So I don't care about the dude's age at all. Because guess what? Harden was only 32, PJ was 36, and he outworked him every single play. He's a hustle guy. Not only is he just a hustle guy, guess what else? Here is a list of the top corner three-point shooters in the entire NBA last season. Number 1. Oh, look who it is. Oh, my God. 37-year-old PJ Tucker at 46.3% on corner threes on 80 attempts. The only players with more attempts on this list are Duncan Robinson and Malik Beasley at 83 attempts. And there, Duncan Robinson is known as a pure sniper, right? And he's only at 41%. Malik Beasley's 39.8%. Danny Green, who we consider a corner three-point specialist, is on this list at 43.5%. So you're getting Danny Green, but better shooting-wise from the corner. And you're getting a hustle guy who's going to out-rebound pretty much anybody that tries to step to him that's relatively his own size, a.k.a. James Harden. I don't care about his age. I don't care about his age at all, man. So that's where I'm at with PJ Tucker. What do you guys think, man? What do you guys think in the chat here? Horford was just fine, Shane says. What are you talking about, man? It was a terrible fit. Kane Scott, no. Oh, that was on the volume. My bad. I'm way too high here. Let me scroll down. He outworked Embiid also. I agree. Nick 21, what's up? It's almost like he's an actual NBA player that fills the gaps of this team. I want PJ. Philly Mike, what's going on, man? I want PJ, but his last 2 teams gave him 1-year deals. Why? He's definitely the best corners, but he'd be low-key not choosing to shoot any other 3. Fair enough. Maybe he's a corner specialist because he chooses not to shoot other 3s. I guess you would just have to use strategy then, right? To and make sure PJ Tucker's in the corner. I don't know. I guess the best way there is that the best situation there is that, hey, you don't even want PJ Tucker at the top of the key, do you? His last 2 teams did give him 1-year deals. The Milwaukee Bucks, who he helped win a championship, and the Miami Heat. But the Miami Heat gave him a 2-year deal with a player option, if I'm not mistaken, and he opted out of that player option to test free agency once again. So I don't know. But all I do know is this team has an issue. This team has a lot of issues. This team has an issue. Rebounding, hustle, flat-out effort. Doc Rivers is sitting here in the middle of a game in the second round of the damn playoffs asking grown men to show him effort. That's embarrassing. So you're getting one of the best effort guys, hustle guys in the league, and you're getting the best the best corner three-point shooter in the league on a 3-year deal. I don't care about his age. He didn't play like he was 36 years old last year. He made James Harden look like he was 46. So I'm pretty high on PJ Tucker, man. PJ knows his role and he's a dog. 10 mil is fine for PJ. Marcel Carter, what's up, David? That floor spacing though, you can't hold the corner if you got a double Embiid, watch Maxey and cover Harden. Exactly. That's what it's all about. You know, you could have Matisse Thybulle in your squad. Yeah, he might get you 2 blocks and 2 rebounds in 40 minutes, but guess what? He's not helping your spacing at all. He can stand in the corner and people aren't even looking at him. He could sit there and make breakfast and I don't know, DJ on Spotify over there in the corner. He could pitch a tent and light a campfire. Nobody's even close to him. So you're getting a guy who can space the floor, and he's a dog, and he's going to hustle, and he's going to, and him being a veteran with that mindset could have a serious impact on the locker room also. We talk a lot about the culture of this team. We talk a lot about they lack this, they lack that. They don't have a guy that's going to, get in people's faces or rile people up in the locker room or maybe his mentality would be contagious in the locker room on top of all of those other things. So that's where I'm at with PJ Tucker, man. We got a super chat that I missed. Did I miss the super chat, man? I'll find it here. Hold on a second. Mr. Rudy Poo, man, thank you for the super chat. I saw it, and it flashed past me. But here we go. Doesn't it highlight it on here? I think there we go. It's highlighted for stupid people like me. Yo, Mr. Rudy Poo, thanks for the support, man. I mean, PJ is the type of player Philly loves. Last hustler we had on the team was TJ. That dude has a following. Tucker will be impactful. Yeah, TJ McConnell. And he couldn't shoot a lick either. He couldn't space the floor either. A hustle guy that can space the floor. Somebody in the chat said, take my money. I agree. I mean, you just paid Danny Green $10 million a year. What's the big deal about PJ Tucker? And why do people care so much about the amount of money? Am I Josh Harris? No. Do I care about Josh Harris's money? No. If he wants to go into luxury tax and shell out, $500 million out of his pocket, do I give a damn? No. If Daryl Morey can get it done with the limited cap space that we have, I say do it. Philly take with RB in the chat, not paying attention at work. What's going on, man? Myself and RB are possibly streaming the NBA draft tomorrow night together for you lovely people out there. So that'll be a fun time. Philly RB says the way PJ guarded Harden and took him completely out of the game was incredible for a 37-year-old. We needed Matisse to do the same thing to Miami, but he didn't. Right. If you I'm cutting out. Does that mean my audio is cutting out or what? Is anyone else having lag issues here? I don't know, man. Maybe that's wonderful Xfinity internet service. What does cutting in and out mean? Are you talking about audio? Or are you talking about video? Or are you talking about the stream? I need some more information here. Audio is cutting out. Why would the audio be cutting out? Yo, check. I don't know. Sounds good on my end. It's probably just the stream. The money matters because we can't make any other moves. This team is capped out, and you think a 37-year-old is going to put this team over the top. Delusional, Marky Max says. I don't think anybody's saying PJ Tucker is going to put this team over the top. I don't think anybody's saying that. It's just one move before the draft. You're trying to get something done before the draft because you want to move Matisse Thybulle and that pick. Now you have free agency on July 1st. There can still be a lot of moves that need to be made. That's the thing, People say a lot of people like to go to, like, when a player's potentially rumored to be traded, or people will put a question mark in the position of the player, right? They'll be like, okay, so we're going to trade this guy and this guy, then who's going to play the small forward? Who's going to do this? Like, we're going to roll out with 3 players. You know what I mean? It's just one move. I don't think anybody's saying P.J. Tucker is putting you over the top. But, honestly, maybe he is. Think about this. We talk a lot about the main issue for this team, or the main thing this team needs is Joel Embiid to stay healthy. If Joel Embiid doesn't stay healthy, none of this matters. I could say this every day, and I'll continue to say it every day. If Joel Embiid doesn't stay healthy, none of this matters. Last year in the playoffs, if Joel Embiid was healthy, with that team that we had, the worst rebounding team in the league, the worst transition defense team in the league, I think if Joel Embiid's healthy, we still win that series. So let's say Joel Embiid stays healthy, and we add P.J. Tucker, and we trade Matisse Thybulle in the 23rd pick and bring back maybe a Kobe White from Chicago. Then what do you say? There's mutual interest between P.J. Tucker and the Sixers per Pompey. Philadelphia is discussing a 3-team trade that would send out Matisse Thybulle and the number 23 pick to clear space. You can make a lot of moves, man. You can make a lot of moves. It's not just P.J. Tucker. Chris Haynes on Twitter. Miami Heat forward P.J. Tucker is expected to have interest from multiple contending teams willing to offer the full mid-level exception once free agency commences, league sources tell Yahoo Sports. So, the one side is saying we have mutual interest. Another side is saying there would be multiple contending teams willing to offer the full mid-level exception. So we're not the only ones that are willing to put $10 million on the table. We're not the only ones that are willing to put $20, $30 million on the table for P.J. Tucker. Clearly, he still has a lot of value at 37 years old. And the dude he stays in good shape. He never stops hustling. And you know what? NBA players are different today, man. 37 back in the day used to be old as dirt. Everything's different these days. Training is different. Dieting is different. Sleep schedule. Everything is studied by a staff. Players can be effective well past 35 years old if they avoid injury. Look at Danny Green. He would still be doing what he's doing for many years to come. The thing about the age is the injury risk. And then Danny Green tears his ACL, MCL, and we all know how that ended up. Austin Krell, for all of you that think this is crazy, my guy Austin Krell on Twitter says, call it ridiculous for Philly to go after 37-year-old P.J. Tucker if you want, but he was also Miami's second or third best player in the second round, put a big hurting on the Sixers, and looked quite capable of impacting winning at his age. I guess maybe you guys would prefer a one-year contract. I understand that, but I think that's probably how you're going to win this sweepstakes if you offer him 3 years, because maybe nobody else is. Kyle Neubeck also discussing the Matisse Thybulle situation. If you're a GM who hasn't gotten an offer from the Sixers involving pick number 23 and Matisse Thybulle, you probably have had your phone shut off. So yeah, I mean, weeks ago I was saying, the Sixers are going to trade Matisse Thybulle. I would pretty much guarantee it. if they want to make moves and improve on what they had last season, there's a couple of assets, and Matisse Thybulle is one of the major ones because other teams still believe that he can impact their team greatly, and we need to sell high. You know, you got media members of the Chicago Bulls claiming that their defense would take a major leap forward if they added Matisse Thybulle. And I'm saying, hey, if you believe that, show me the trade. Where do I sign? So you're gonna move Matisse. I pretty much guarantee that. Where's Romp at? Somebody replying to Romp in the chat. Where's Romp? Romp. Tobias and PJ Tucker playing next to each other. Yuck. Get Tobias out of here. Yeah. There's another article that basically says, like, if the Philadelphia 76ers are trading or are signing PJ Tucker, I'm sorry, that means Tobias Harris is getting moved, because I agree pretty much that I don't think Tobias Harris and PJ Tucker should be on the floor together. That's a fit that would be experimental and probably wouldn't work out too well. So I agree with that. My jumper broke in the chat. I explained a little bit ago that, teams are valuing him for certain reasons, not based on his box score. You just joined the chat, I'm assuming. My jumper broke says he's 37 and only averaged 7.6 points, 5.5 rebounds, and 2.1 assists on 48% shooting, but we're giving him $30 million. Again, man, I got to tell you, my jumper broke. Watch the game. 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 He had such a major impact on those pivotal games in the second round. That's why he's being valued what he's being valued at. It has nothing to do with how many points he averaged over the course of the regular season. I'm all for it, PJ Tucker. I'm all for it. Where's not Matt on Twitter? Let me find this one real quick. I forgot to put it up here. It's not Matt. Give my guy It's Not Matt a follow on Twitter, by the way, man. Good tweets. In my opinion. Good tweets. It's Not Matt has been firing back at some people on Twitter for in the PJ Tucker situation. Although he did list here that Tobias and Tucker playing together. I don't know about that. I don't know about Tobias and Tucker playing together. People are crying about Josh Harris' pockets now. You want to burn stuff down about $10 million, but will be fawning over more if you sign him for $7 million. I hope you realize the hilarity in switching fan bases over your multi-billionaire owner having to pay $3 million more than you wanted for the player everyone wanted. Morey made the second year of Danny Green's 2-year, $20 million deal non-guaranteed last summer. He was 34 at the time. If 3 years, $30 million with PJ Tucker is true, I guarantee you that he's doing the same thing with him at 37. So It's Not Matt agrees, and I would agree. There's probably there would probably be a team option for the last year of that contract to give the Sixers some flexibility. Now let's get into Matisse Thybulle for a second. Matisse Thybulle in the 23rd pick, because the question is, if they're signing PJ Tucker, if they're trying to sign PJ Tucker, and they have to clear cap space, and one of the ways that they're going to try to clear cap space is moving Matisse Thybulle and attaching the 23rd pick to it, then you ask yourself, then you ask yourself, what's possible with Matisse Thybulle in the 23rd pick? Eastwood, give me some possibilities. Throw me some trade ideas that would be realistic when talking about Matisse Thybulle in the 23rd pick. So here you go. Who's that? Kevin Hobb, man. Thank you for the $10 super chat. Kevin Hobb, man. I appreciate that. He says, what is your confidence in Morey? His, quotes, big name hunting hurt Houston. Bad trades on Westbrook and Chris Paul to make Harden happy. Lost a lot of draft picks doing so. Ran to Sixers before collapse. Yeah, I mean, I can't disagree with you on that. He definitely went all in with the Houston Rockets. He definitely used every asset they had to try to deliver a championship. They got close. 7 games with the Golden State Warriors in the Western Conference Finals, and Chris Paul was injured. So it's risk and reward. You have to take risks to make things happen, right? You want a guy that's not going to give up anything, that's just going to, let's just keep drafting another 19-year-old. Let's just keep all of our guys, these Sixers 24/7 group members on Facebook that, I like our young guys. We don't need stars. We don't need better players. We don't need veterans. I like our young guys. Please don't trade Shake Milton. Please don't trade. Come on, man. That's what, you want a guy that's going to do that and not make any gambles, not take any risks to try to, and never sniff the NBA Finals? I know Daryl Morey seems to be the extreme on the opposite end of that, right? Maybe a little more of a middle ground guy would be better, but Daryl Morey's extreme is what he does. And he's saying Joel Embiid's in his prime right now. You might have 4 more superstar level years of Joel Embiid. It's time to try to win within those 4 years. Let's go all in. And he did it with the Rockets. You're right. He got close to the NBA Finals. Chris Paul got hurt. You take risks. If somebody important gets hurt, you might not get it done. But he also refuses to trade Matisse. He refuses to trade Tyrese Maxey. So at least, I say this a lot, at least you're holding on to Tyrese Maxey. If this process thing 5 years from now ends up being a total fail and you're capped out and you start selling big contracts, you don't have any draft picks left, at least you can continue to build around Tyrese Maxey. That's what I think about Daryl Morey. You're asking me what my confidence is in Daryl Morey. I say I'm at a 6 out of 10. Because we don't yet know if giving up all of that for James Harden was worth it. We don't yet know if giving up all of that for James Harden was a bad move based on the other options that were out there. The Tyrese Halliburton, Buddy Hield, Kings package, the Malcolm Brogdon, Pacers package, whatever. So I can't really gauge what I think about Morey until I see how James Harden plays this upcoming season, because everything's banking on that. But what he did in Houston, yeah, he's obsessed with big names. But I just think he takes risks, and he wants to put a team he wants to put a ring on the team's finger, and you got to be one of the top 3 teams, right? 4 or 5. You have to. The NBA is more open now, but when you look at Boston and the Golden State Warriors, just getting over the hump and getting to the Eastern Conference Finals, is that good enough, or are you trying to be as good as the Boston Celtics and the Golden State Warriors? So I don't know. I think Daryl Morey takes a lot of risks, but I can't really gauge what my confidence is in him yet until I see what James Harden looks like this upcoming season. All right, so Matisse Thybulle and pick number 23 rumored to be shopped by the 76ers, and it's interesting. You want to know what you could get back for Matisse Thybulle in a potential Matisse Thybulle trade. We find the article on Fansided. 3 realistic Matisse Thybulle trade targets. The first one here is Bogdan Bogdanović. had a hand in absolutely destroying us against the Atlanta Hawks in that playoff series. Actually, it was Kevin Huerter, but much like the Philadelphia 76ers, the Atlanta Hawks are facing their own question-laden offseason after a disappointing season that saw the Hawks barely make the playoffs. Every player in Atlanta is reportedly available. Now there are a number of players in ATL who should interest the 76ers. John Collins is the obvious name that comes to mind, but only so many are realistic. For Philadelphia, Bogdanovich would be the shooter with size that the team needs. He's 29 years old. His salary cap hit is over $18 million. Less than stellar injury history makes him available for the right price. At the moment, Bogdanovich is recovering from knee surgery, but the expectation is he will be back within. Is there supposed to be a time frame there? The thing that I like about Bogdanovich is right here. He averaged 7.2 threes per game. I like that. We need guys that fire the rock. You know, Tobias, you can shoot 40% all you want. If you're only shooting 1.5 threes a game, you're not really helping us out that much. 7.2 three-point attempts per game. I like that. And still managed to put up 38.8%. That's some quality efficiency considering the high rate with which he shoots. Bogdan would slide in as the team's new starting small forward, and although he's not quite the athlete or defender the Sixers need, he is a major upgrade for Philadelphia. And the Hawks would save $14 million in that scenario. What do you guys think? Yes or no, Matisse Thybulle and the 23rd pick for Bogdanovich? Kane Scott, yeah, but everyone comes to Philly and forgets how to shoot. Can't disagree with that. Eric's getting Beal would be a massive mistake. I'm not sure if you guys are special ed or not, if you want more stars over depth. Don't know what that means or why you have to call people special ed and why you can't just have a sports conversation. So let's practice just having sports conversations and not insulting people over their opinions on hypothetical NBA trades or free agent signings. Anyway, Rob Carr, I want Gordon and Tucker. Eric Gordon, PJ Tucker, and healthy Embiid. Another year from another offseason from Maxey and maybe a better version of James Harden. Hey, I seriously think you stand a chance there. Maxey needs to shoot more threes next year too. I agree with that. San 8 says, hell yeah. David, no, not JJ Redick, though. I don't know what that means either. All right, look, number 2. This is the one that I think I like here. I think I like this one a lot. Matisse Thybulle and number 23 to the Chicago Bulls for Kobe White. The Chicago Bulls and Matisse Thybulle have been on a collision course ever since the NBA's draft combine back in May. During the combine, which took place, who cares about that? When looking at the Bulls roster, Zach LaVine and Patrick Williams should already be ruled out of the discussion. The Sixers may find themselves pivoting interest to either Alex Caruso or Javonte Green. And while both of those players are interesting, the most likely candidate is a player from the 2019 draft who is underwhelmed but is still full of potential. Kobe White brings a bit of size, a bit of ball handling, and above all, shooting. The Sixers likely wouldn't ask White to do much from a creation standpoint, but would instead utilize him as a catch-and-shoot machine. What White was able to do in catch-and-shoot situations last year was truly impressive. Got my thing. Hey, Rudy Poo, thanks for the super chat, bro. He shot 40.6% from deep on 4.6 attempts per game. That percentage on that type of volume is only rivaled by sharpshooter Georges Niang on this Sixers roster. So he would already be the best catch and shoot three-point shooter off of the bench if you go for Kobe White. And look, I for a couple of years now have been saying I'm not that interested in this overpowering defense. I think we overrate defense too much, especially in today's NBA. I just think you need scorers, man. You just need scorers. Like, yeah, the good teams play good defense, but guess what? They have guys out there getting buckets and shooting threes and making threes and scoring 110, 120 points. So if you're swapping Matisse Thybulle, who is an NFL defensive back and can't do anything with the ball in his hands, but gets you 2 blocks, 2 steals per game, gets you some fun turnovers, maybe changes the momentum of a game here and there with a big-time steal, you're swapping out that defense for a guy who shoots 40% on 5 attempts per game in the catch and shoot, coming off the bench, playing alongside, who knows, James Harden, Joel Embiid, staggered minutes here and there. All he has to do is catch and shoot. I like that a lot. What you guys think about Matisse Thybulle and number 23 for Kobe White? Nick says, I would rather have a solid wing in Bogdan. I like Bogdanovich too, man. And the wing position, a starting wing. Yeah, you're not wrong, man. If you can trade that and get a starting small forward, because that was a hole in our roster last year. We were flip-flopping between 49-year-old Danny Green with one leg and Matisse Thybulle, who can't do anything with the ball in his hands. So we do need a starting small forward. I agree with that. And Bogdanovich would slide right in there. So that is probably the best one. I do like the Kobe White one, though. And the last one here on this article is Will Barton. The Sixers exhibit many needs, from shooting to size, athleticism, playmaking. The Denver Nuggets' Will Barton is that wrapped into one. The 6'6" wing averaged 14.7 points per game, 5 rebounds, and 4 assists last season for the Nuggets. His numbers may not have been the most efficient, but they were surely impacted by an increased role, having lost Jamal Murray and Michael Porter Jr. for the entire season. Barton would fit perfectly either as a starter on the wing or perhaps even more so as the team's 6th man. It may seem odd or disappointing trading Thybulle for a bench player. Doesn't sound disappointing to me. But that's the value of a flawed one-way, especially defensive player. And Barton wouldn't just be any bench player. The Sixers bench needs a leader, as shown last season, and Barton, through both his scoring and passing prowess, is perfectly suited for that role. Rumors have been spinning around fan circles for some time that Denver Nuggets may be interested in Matisse Thybulle. In addition to Aaron Gordon at the 2021 trade deadline has helped to improve the team's perimeter defense, but there's still a long way to go. Matisse Thybulle could prove to be a difference maker in Denver defensively. Let's go! A difference maker! He might jump and foul someone in a pivotal game 6 of the playoffs, but he'll get you 2 blocks and 2 rebounds. And I asked Swipe a Cam, Denver Nuggets content creator and guy on Twitter that's has some interesting takes, but has a good following on Twitter. I said, are you guys interested in Matisse Thybulle? And he said, yes, for sure we are. So we have another team that still believes that Matisse Thybulle can change their defense entirely and are willing to give up players for that. So, hey, I like Will Barton, good veteran guy. Like they said, could be the 6th man. Would get a lot of minutes on this team, honestly, because, 6'6", athletic, can do more than just shoot, can actually play the game, can dribble and pass. A quote-unquote basketball player. Like my guy Romp says from time to time, we need more basketball players. Not these one-dimensional guys that can only do one thing, and when that one thing is not going well, they're useless. I would love Will Barton off the bench. Don't know if giving up Matisse and the 23rd pick is too much for Will Barton. It seems like a lot to give up a first-round pick for Will Barton, but all 3 of these I think are realistic. I like the article written by Zach Cavalella at Zach Chavo NBA on Twitter. Give him a follow. And this is at section215.com. So shout out to them for the article. And I think those are 3 realistic trade targets for Matisse Thybulle. What you guys think, man? Mr. Rudy Poo with the $5 donation. Thank you for supporting the channel. 338 people still in here. Please hit the like button. That would be greatly appreciated. Don't forget, this episode of Run It Back Philly is brought to you by Aura Identity Theft Prevention. Go to aura.com/runitback. Protect yourself on the internet from all the frauds out there trying to steal your information. 39 million Americans were affected last year. You have car insurance for a reason. You should have insurance on all the information you put out on the internet. aura.com/runitback. Sign up for a 14-day free trial. Link is in the description. Dort would be perfect for us, Dom says. I agree with that. All right, Mr. Rudy Poo with the super chat. Since we're talking about trading the 23rd pick, you don't Jaden Hardy like our fan base. You don't Jaden Hardy like our fan base? You don't like Jaden Hardy? I don't know what you were trying to type there. Are you asking me a question? Since we're talking trading the 23rd pick, you don't Jaden Hardy like our fan base. He only shoots 26% from 3 with seven shot attempts. We need him. Are you being sarcastic? I don't know. I'm not in a position to gauge or rate or even really discuss draft picks because I'm not interested. You know, I was the same way last year. I was the same way the year before that. I wanted to just trade Ben Simmons before the trade deadline. I wanted to trade the picks. I want to win. I want to be in win now mode. I want to be that team that's in win now mode. You know? Drafting a 19-year-old player does absolutely nothing for us. You guys are talking about Lou Dort in the chat, and Khan 1992, is Dort realistic? Why would OKC give up a defensive guy who averaged 18 for one who averages like 5? They wouldn't. OKC's not trading Lou Dort. That dude is a bucket. He's a bucket. A good defender who can also play basketball, who can dribble, who has a little Euro step, who can finish around the rim. October's, what's up, man? Mr. Rudy Poo, yeah, sarcasm. Fan bases love this guy Hardy for no reason. I don't know. Again, I'm not really at the point where I'm interested in gauging what I think about 19-year-olds. You don't know. You never know. You know, people thought Andrew Wiggins was the next LeBron James. Tank for Wiggins. You know, the draft is too much of a crapshoot, man. Look, we had 3 first-round picks in 2016. We took Ben Simmons, Timothé Luwawu-Cabarrot, and Furkan Korkmaz. You don't know. Just draft KD again. That's where I'm at, man. Listen, I'm cool with 3 years for PJ Tucker. I know it sounds like a lot for a 37-year-old, but the way that he played last year and the way that he played in the playoffs and how much he impacted the game outside of the box score is something the Sixers need. So give the money to PJ Tucker. I'm all for it. Eric Gordon would be probably a trade. I like Eric Gordon too. These are upgrades. It's not a third star like everybody, you know, like Daryl Morey came out and said at the end of the season, or Brian Winters reported that Daryl Morey has big plans to land a third star. I don't know. Bradley Beal. Rumors last night surfaced that Bradley Beal is opting out of his player option to test free agency. Justin Tweakin says Ben Simmons will kick y'all out of the playoffs next year. Watch. Well, I got to hand it to you. Your YouTube name is insanely accurate because you are tweaking if you think that. Anyway, Bradley Beal is rumored to be opting out of his player option and testing free agency, but then Bradley Beal tweeted, with 3 question marks. So Bradley Beal doesn't even know where these rumors came from. So who knows what's true and what's not. But here's how I feel about Bradley Beal. A lot of, people that aren't fans or think that there's empty stats. He averaged this on a bad team or whatever. He never took the team anywhere. I'm doing whatever I can to get Bradley Beal. I don't care at all. First of all, I don't need Bradley Beal to lead me anywhere. I need Bradley Beal to get buckets. And Bradley Beal gets buckets. if you somehow keep Tyrese Maxey, and you maybe Tobias Harris, Matisse Thybulle, 2-3 first-round picks, I don't know, for Bradley Beal, sign me up. Because James Harden, Bradley Beal, Joel Embiid, and then the sixth man of the year, Tyrese Maxey, that's a championship team. That is a championship team. That's a championship team. That's a championship team. Q Sims, Beal is trolling. He's opting out and signing the max. That's probably what's going to happen. He's probably opting out. He's probably going to sign a 5-year supermax, stay in Washington for the rest of his career, never win anything. But I don't know. Some of the interviews that I've heard, man, he doesn't. It's tough. Like some of the post-game stuff, he sounds real frustrated after a big-time loss or whatever, and he said in a podcast, like, it's not fun getting your ass kicked every night. But then he stays there. Why? Come on, Brad. Come here and win. Beal equals bye-bye Maxey? I don't think so, because a sign and trade doesn't always land you the value that the player should be worth. You know, we signed and trade Jimmy Butler for Josh Richardson. I mean, that's also the Sixers, so. But just over the course of like recent history, sign and trades, you know, the Kyle Lowry sign and trade wasn't for much. We offered more before the trade deadline or before the end of the season. I don't remember. Everything's a blur. But a Bradley Beal sign and trade, it might not cost you Tyrese Maxey. Because if the Washington Wizards are trying to go full rebuild mode, maybe they say, hey, give us 23-year-old, 24-year-old Matisse Thybulle, big-time defender, can change our defensive philosophy entirely, can change our culture for the better. And he's cheap. We get out of a bunch of cap space. Maybe Tobias Harris with his contract expiring 2 years. Maybe they take him and the 23rd pick. Maybe we throw in future draft picks. I don't know. I just think you might be able. If you can get that done, you do it for Bradley Beal. Now, if it's impossible, it's impossible. And if he re-signs for a max, he re-signs for a max. But that's where I'm at with it. Anyway, thank you all for being here. DJ, there's no way they let Beal go without Maxey. Well, then I'm not doing it. I'm just saying if you could get it done without giving up Maxey, I'd do it 100%. If I'm not giving up Maxey for anybody. I'm not. I'm on that now. I would trade Maxey for this guy, that guy, but I can't do it anymore. I can't. I'm not, and I'm not the guy that's like, we have to keep a guy because in 5 years he might be this, he might be that. I really, really think Tyrese Maxey is something special. So you guys that you know he's untouchable and never trade him, I'm leaning that way because I really think he's not just another guy. He's just something special. And I would like to hold on to Tyrese Maxey at all costs. It would be tempting. But I don't ever want to give up Tyrese Maxey. That's where I'm at with it. Hey, thank you for everyone supporting the channel. Mr. Rudy Poo, Bravo Carlos, Project Crimson, newest member, Andy Walken. Shout out to everybody in the chat. 321 still in here. Please hit the like button. I will be back very soon. Tomorrow night, NBA Draft, myself, RB, live stream together, watching the NBA Draft. Be there. We're going to do all kinds of fun stuff. Might do some giveaways. We'll probably play Sixers trivia. We'll take phone calls on the Discord, on the phone lines. We're going to do all kinds of stuff during the NBA Draft. It's like a 3+ hour show. It's going to be awesome. Join us tomorrow night. Hit the like button on your way out of here. Go to aura.com/runitback. Protect yourself from the frauds. 14-day free trial. And you guys have a blessed Wednesday. Peace.